So your friends might have been telling you about this app, or you've been seeing constant ads about it on the internet. And of course, that is Supernatural, and you're here to figure out whether it's a good app for you to work out in at home or not. Hopefully by the end of this video, I will answer that question for you. Let's get into it. What's good, everyone? Welcome to Cook VR. If you're new to the channel, we talk about anything and everything VR related. Today we're talking about the fitness app on the Meta Quest 2, Supernatural. Today we're going to be discussing whether or not it's an app that you should spend your hard-earned money on monthly. In this video, we're going to be covering everything in Supernatural, the workouts, the music, the coaches, the phone app, and last of all, the price. So let's dive into it. So first up for today is the boxing workouts. In Supernatural, you have boxing workouts that have various difficulties, and I learned that the hard way by doing my very first boxing workout in the lowest difficulty, and it was too easy for myself. So I thought that it wouldn't be much more difficult if I went to the hardest difficulty, which is kind of stupid of me, but I learned that lesson. And the difficulty gap in Supernatural for the boxing workouts is really good. You have range to actually improve in your boxing, and it will punish you if you don't really know a whole lot of what you're doing. I've played other boxing apps, kind of like FitXR, which is a very similar Meta Quest 2 title. That's a subscription-based fitness app, and their big thing is boxing, and it wasn't really ever terribly difficult for me to keep up, but this one had me very challenged to actually keep up with a lot of the punches, especially when it would have triplets, and that was a lot in my workouts that I did on Intense. But overall, the boxing workouts, they will challenge you. You will actually get a sweat going, and you will actually be breathing heavily a lot when you can try to breathe, which I found difficult. Overall, the boxing is very good. I really enjoyed it. It has a very big difficulty gap. Next up are the flow workouts, which I will say, and I'm not alone here, and before I tried Supernatural, is that the flow workouts, I thought, personally, were bluntly a complete ripoff of Beat Saber. I wasn't completely wrong. There are parts of it where it feels very similar, and it's very easy to correlate the two games, or apps, I guess, in this situation. But it has its differences, and it makes it much more focused on fitness compared to Beat Saber. Of course, Beat Saber, you're just trying to get blocks as fast as you can, not worrying about how you're moving and what you're actually doing. You're just flicking your wrists around, which I enjoy, but from a workout standpoint, it isn't all that great. In Supernatural, you're moving your shoulders a lot, your triceps are hurting, your shoulders are hurting, and a lot of the times you're squatting constantly and your legs are gonna hurt. The coaches in these flow workouts, they teach you how to swing, how to not swing, because obviously if you're playing Beat Saber, you're just swinging with your wrists, and they tell you to keep wrists locked, and that's good, because you should be swinging with your entire body weight if you're trying to get an actual workout in, rather than just hitting as many little notes as you can. And similar to the boxing, this will have you turning in 360 degrees, and all of the motions and all of the transitions are really well fleshed out. It's very smooth. There's nothing that ever felt out of place in any of these flow workouts. They have you moving in 360 degrees, they have you ducking, they have you swinging as hard as you can, and just trying to keep up with the tempo. For me, I tried only the intense workouts, mainly because I'm used to playing Beat Saber, and even the intense ones at times, they were very difficult. I wouldn't say that they were overly difficult for myself, but they were hard to keep up with in a lot of times. Another thing with the flow workouts is that it has these little pixie dusts off the end of some of the balloons, and they keep you from just completely relaxing within certain notes, and sometimes they'll chain these pixie dust things together, and it makes it a very smooth transition while keeping you moving and not just trying to relax at any second, because these flow workouts do not give you that chance, and that's good. They shouldn't. They give you a chance in between each song, which is perfect. But overall, in each song, and I was doing I believe it was a 16-minute workout in Intense, and there were lots of the pixie dust things. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they look like pixie dust, and I'm gonna call it that because it's kind of fun. My thoughts with the flow workouts is if you play Beat Saber, it's gonna feel for the most part, very familiar to you just because of the motions. But I would say if you're gonna do it, challenge yourself and don't move your wrists very much. It's hard not to, but just try and move with your body and have your entire body actually move with these things, and it'll be a lot more rewarding at the end because you'll feel a lot more exhausted. And that's the point of this app, is to get exhausted and to get a workout. The last two workout types are meditation and stretching, and I'll cover the meditation first. My initial thoughts were kind of just anywhere. I didn't know what to expect. I've tried apps like Headspace and Calm in the past, and I enjoy them. I definitely haven't done meditation enough. So I guess breathing and my technique with everything is not all that great. So I was kind of hoping that Supernatural would teach me some of those things. And I was kind of right. If you do the guided meditations and there's only one coach in them, they have lots, but they're only about 4 to 9 minutes long. They aren't very long. And most of them, he will talk you through the breathing for the first about minute to minute and a half. And then kind of on there, each little session has a topic that the coach will talk about, and that's really it. You're kind of just expected to keep up that breathing pattern, which is just breathing through your nose and breathing out your mouth. And it's nothing very complicated. It's very simple, but lots of what these meditation sessions are is more asking you questions to ask yourself and kind of giving you, I guess, positive affirmations. Overall, it's good. It's not something that I would say is the highlight of Supernatural, and I do know that it's quite new to the app, so I'm hoping there will be some more tutorials and stuff for people who are brand new to meditation, because myself, I just kind of just breathed as normal, and it was helpful. There are self-guided ones where you just kind of sit in any environment. One thing I did notice is that you have the flow bats with you while you're meditating, so I don't see that being very proactive, but that's beside the point. The last workout session is the stretching. The stretching, I didn't really know anything to expect. I figured as much that it was just going to be the cool downs at the end of each workout. I thought it was just going to be those taken into individual things, and luckily I was wrong. All of these are fully in-depth stretching things, and they all cover different parts of your body. Lots of them, which most of the ones that I did were full body stretching, and they're all very good. The coaches go fully in depth on how you should be doing the stretch, where you should be feeling it, how long you're going to be feeling it, and it's overall very good. It's not a highlight of anything, I would say, but it's a good thing to have at the end of each workout. Even if you already did stretching at the end of your little sessions, having this be so much more in depth is really good. It's something that everyone should be doing. I'm not saying that should be forced into each session, but I think that it's a very good addition, and I'm happy that they have it, other than just the regular intense workouts, because you need to stretch. And overall, it's a great thing. I'm happy it's there. There isn't really much to say. It's stretching. The next section is music, and that is, at least for me, a big highlight of this app, which is the fact that they actually have big name artists as, the music. It's not anything that's like royalty music that sounds like a certain artist or anything like that. It's overall really, it's very popular artists that many of you have probably heard of, or at least, heard some of their songs or anything from. But all of the workouts, they all have big name artists, and that's a really good plus. It makes the app feel much more professional. There isn't much to say. It's music, it's good music, big name artists. So yeah, if you like music, they have some of your music. Now for the coaches, I was a little bit apprehensive on the coaches in the first place. I've never been someone who's enjoyed group fitness classes or anything like that at the gym. So I didn't really know how I was going to like any of these coaches or having them talk to me during the workouts, which I will say, if you know for a fact that you don't like that type of thing, you cannot turn it off in the app. So be wary of that. If you're not going to enjoy it, you probably don't want to stick with this app, because they will talk to you quite a bit in each song. But after about my first week or so playing or doing the app on a daily basis, the coaches kind of started to get to me, and in a good way, not making me go crazy. But they got to me to a point where I actually kind of enjoyed certain coaches more than others, and I would try and find their workouts because they were more either fun to listen to, talk to me, or they're more encouraging, or they're just overall, in my opinion, better to listen to while I'm working out. But they have lots of different coaches, they have lots of different options of coaches. Overall, if you don't like coaches and you don't like people talking to you while you're doing a workout, you can't turn it off. So I would kind of tell you to veer away from doing Supernatural. But if you like it, I would say they're very good. They're very well chosen. They're very active in the community. The coaches are a good addition, and it gives you much more of that kind of fitness feel, like you're actually doing something that is fitness and not just playing a game. And the last thing that we got to talk about is, of course, the price. Annually for Supernatural, it is $180, and monthly it's $20 US, and that's a pretty steep price, especially for a online fitness app. However, if you're someone who doesn't enjoy going to the gym, or you can't go to a gym because there might be a pandemic going on, or you're just too busy, and you're going to be using this on a regular basis, I would definitely say it's worth it. I would, of course, say do your own research. I'm not telling you whether or not to buy it, because it is $20 a month, which is more expensive than most gyms, but it does feel very professional. The fact that you have real artists as the music, and your coaches are, they give you daily exercises, and each workout feels fine-tuned for the coaches and what their dialogue is. It never feels repetitive or anything like that. The last section that I'm going to talk about is the app, the phone app. There isn't much to talk about here. I just want to include it so you know there is one. But overall, the community in the app is actually really good. You can follow the coaches, and most importantly, you can follow your friends who also do Supernatural. And on the right-hand side of it, you have a scoreboard for each week. So you kind of can compete with all of your friends and everything, and it makes it really fun, makes it more interactive. But a big part of it is the community. I haven't really dove much into it, but I've heard from lots of people that the community of Supernatural is very encouraging. They're very welcoming, especially since you're all going into this app with a very specific thing in mind, which is fitness, versus just playing a game, which just isn't, I would say. But overall, really, there isn't much more to say. It's a nice app, it's well made. I don't really ever experience any bugs with it. So it's a nice addition. It makes it feel a little more kept up. It isn't out of date or anything like that. If you liked the video, please leave a like and possibly subscribe if you want to see more VR content like this. If you have any suggestions for what video and what games or products you would like me to possibly cover in the future, please leave a comment down below. I look at all of them. I respond to almost all of them. If you've tried Supernatural, let me know what you have thought of it so far in the comments below. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.